Well, I wish I had better lighting. I had better lighting earlier when I was doing test shots, but I didn't want to stay downstairs and possibly disturb my grandmother while she's trying to sleep. I'm back in Georgia, and it's been like a really big endeavor on my part. I've been tried emotionally so much, these last few weeks, last month, I should say. And I've had a lot of changes and emotional lows. I've had a few emotional highs, but a lot of lows. And I figured that the best way for me to really come to grips with some of the things that are occurring and to get everything out is to, come on and record myself and really vent about it for the most part, and try to put myself in a more positive place, because, I don't want to stay in a negative state of mind, and then that's only going to bring more negative occurrences, and I don't want that to happen. I don't think anybody wants that to happen. But just a brief rundown of what's going on. My grandmother is currently on hospice. She has been for the last 3.5 weeks. And initially, when she was placed, released from the hospital for in-hospice care, we were told she wouldn't really have to the end of that week to make it. So, like I said, I'm in Georgia now. I'm coming from Florida, from Fort Lauderdale. So, I packed up and kids and my brother and his girlfriend and one of our close friends, his roommate, and we all rushed up here, as soon as possible. And thank God, she started to pull through and to turn around, and she started, I saw the change in her from when we first got here. She was really unresponsive, and, I couldn't speak to her. It was barely a huh, or I'm hot, or I'm cold. That's enough. Just basic words, you know what I mean? She wasn't there. Within a few days of us being here and helping and putting that positive energy around her, like, hey, you can pull through. You're like she's the strongest woman that I know, and it definitely helped. She started to come around, talking, eating again, because she wasn't eating when we got here. Eating, we were giving her soup through a straw, drinking water, because of course, she needs to keep those things going for her body to keep going, and we got her back on her medications, and things started to pick up, and it was great. It was awesome. It's still, it's great that occurred. Now, of course, I still have ties in Florida, commitments that, I'm linked to. So I go back and I find out the eve of us going back that we had a break-in, and a portion of our things were stolen, and the place was ransacked, of course, and it hurts so bad to know that no matter how positive you're trying to be, or you think you're trying to be, there can always be someone out there who doesn't live by the same code that you live by. They don't have the same moral values, and they don't care about, the way they affect other people with their actions. And I don't know, it was hard to know that, hey, we come back to Florida and we've been robbed. So it was hard, you know what I mean? But when we left on a positive note, and it was okay, we'll come back, we'll be back. What the plan was initially was that my brother was going to bring me, the kids, his girlfriend, and Rob back down to Florida. He was going to come back up because he needed to come back. And, we were okay with that. But within 2 days of us returning, we returned back on that Saturday. And on that Saturday, when I got back, I gave the kids over to their father, who, of course, he hadn't seen them in 3 weeks. So, I know he was missing them. He spoken to them, called them, during the time I was up here, kept them in contact, let them know that, hey, I explained what was going on, that why I was coming up here, and, thankfully, things are turning around. And, I thought he understood that and was, bearing with me, during that time, because it was we don't know. We still don't know, how things are going to turn out. So he comes to pick the girls up. And that Saturday evening, it got kind of wild at my brother's house. We had some friends over because we had friends that came and helped do some of the recovery work, for the place after being vandalized, basically. They helped us, and they helped us to kind of, cope through what was going on, which was amazing. And, I could never thank them more. I could never really repay that. Unless, of course, they have the exact same situation, then that'd be another story. But, we had to get together, basically, and it was more of a party of defiance that you are not going to break us. You're not going to shatter us with taking material things and breaking glass. Everyone can break a glass. We're not that easily shattered, So we had a party, and part of it too was a combination birthday party, because we have a few friends in the circles whose birthdays fall in August. So, it was an early celebration, but it was refreshing. We had some drinks, and it was fun. It got out of hand at one point, but during that midst of us having conversations, we decided, hey, it's okay. It's all right. So this is Saturday. Monday morning, I get a call back from my aunt, and she says that we probably need to leave, immediately, and all come back, because my grandmother's body was basically failing. I found out later on that her body was going to diabetic shock, because she's also diabetic. She has cancer. She's diabetic as well. So it was tough, because I've dealt with this same situation. All of us have with my grandfather, my grandmother's ex-husband, her husband. He passed away in was that 2001, 2002? I can't remember. Honestly, everything's running together, but he had prostate cancer, and my aunt was actually in the room when he finally passed on, and she, of course, saw those signs of decline and knew, what to really look for. So when she called and told me that, at that point, I knew that I needed to come back here. So, I let my brother know, and immediately started trying to contact my kid's father. Calling. No answer. So I packed up everything I could, and really got, back into the mindset, okay, hey, this may be it, but, she pulled through when we came before. You know, maybe she's just waiting for us to come back, and that'll be it. And she'll come back around. So we're getting ready to leave, and I drive 45 minutes out of the way to go and retrieve my children. And without going too far into it, their father would not let me take my children. Police were involved, and because I was returning to pick my children up, according to the cops, and we don't have a court order, they would have to keep it as status quo, meaning that if he's refusing to release the children to me, then they can't force him to. And that hurt so bad. It really did. It was bad enough that I'm basically told that my grandmother has a few hours to live, and we stay 10 hours away from our destination. At least that's with no traffic, you know? And this is their only great-grandmother. And I use my kids. I do. I use them as support because they have such an innocence and an unconditional love for me, and I love them so much. And to have them ripped from my arms, basically, out of spite, and it hurt really bad. Like, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I broke down. I broke down so bad. I hadn't cried like that in a long time. A long time. And I'm about to cry now thinking about it, but in any event, I'm back here in Georgia, and without my kids. So it's bad enough. I felt myself slipping away. Like, I felt it. And I don't know. I wish there was a moral court, you know? Like, this is right and this is wrong. Not to just, oh, did you break someone's things? Did you impede on someone's rights? No. What about things that are just straight up black and white, wrong, right or wrong? Whatever. But, you know, I get up here and I know that I was hurting bad. And thankfully I get here and my grandmother's starting to pull back around. So, you know, I have to thank God for like those small miracles, you know what I mean? Like, I'm hurting on one side, but, you know, I have joy on the other hand. I do. But, I know my kids know that I love them with everything that I have, but not having them here just, it hurts so bad knowing that it's really going to be a battle from here on out. And it's all, and, you know, faith is faith. It's nothing but the devil. And nothing but pure evil that will cause someone to, you know, to do that to someone. Especially for, you know, just to come from their father, you know. And he knows my grandmother. You know, we were together for a good portion of time. When we were first to have 2 kids together, and, you know, he knows my grandmother and showed no form of sympathy. He actually wants how she was doing. Wants. You know, so it's a far cry from how I would, handle things. And I have to come to grips with that people handle things differently and treat others differently. But I know through these adversities and trials and tribulations that, there will be a silver lining. I just unfortunately can't see it right now, but, I will eventually, I'm sure. Anyway, I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to stop this post, and I'm going to post it because I feel like I need to get this out, and I feel better knowing that I've gotten this out some way. That I've gotten it out of my system, because I've been holding a lot of this stuff in. So this is out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry my tears, and I'm going to do the music video thing. Maybe. But no, I'm gonna try something different and try to bring myself back to me, back to myself. And that'll be it, I guess. Thanks for listening. And I'll probably do this more often, as time chugs away and I have nothing but my grandmother and time. The time I have with her, and the time that I'm just here,